let's go live. Let's go live. Let's go live. Let's see. Let's see who's in here. Anybody? No? Hey, Coupon Cutie. How's it going? It's Friday night. We got some homecoming dances going on. Looks like. We got several people going to be taking the exam. We've got one tomorrow, I know for sure. She just got to her hotel room. Some people's testing sites are super far away from their home. I know my testing site in Arizona is be a 6-hour drive just to get there. So I go to another state in Nevada and take the exam there, but it's still a 2.5-hour drive one way, and then you got to drive all the way back. So testing sites, locations for sure an issue. We've got Bird TV on, so that you may hear some squirrels and stuff making noises. I have a book and it can be confusing at times. Not sure what that is. We have 2 more passes in our group this week. People that have passed their CPC exam. So that is super good news. Who do we have? She is doing, there is supposed to be a hyperlink. Supposed to be from Blackboard to Examity is how the links go. Marissa took her. She remembered OB being a question on her exam. And Delilah is taking her exam. She drove 9 hours to her hotel. Good gracious. To take her exam. Oh my goodness. All right. My day was really good. It's really quiet. One of my kids is gone. So I only have one of my youngest sons here. 2 of them are here, but only one of the youngest ones is here. So it is super quiet here. Dad, hubby, is at work. He's closing the Hobby Lobby store tonight. His co-manager got sent to another store in another state because they're having coverage issues. So he doesn't have anybody else to close the store. So now he has to open and close every single day. So it's like 18-hour days for him, getting there at 6 a.m. and then he leaves at 9:30ish at night. So yeah, long days for him. So the house is so quiet. Let's see. I wish I understand what talking about. I'm trying to find a live caption, but iPhone seems to not have any. I'm sorry about the closed caption. I haven't even started the live yet, really. I was just gathering some information, looking to see who was taking their exam tomorrow, so I could wish them the very best. Hey, Kimber. Oh, I'm so glad you love the coding guidelines. Did you get the 2022 guideline notes? I really, hand typed those out and then took screenshots of the coding guidelines and where they are in the book because it's so weird. I mean, they tell you, okay, this guideline on this page or C1B 3Z or whatever. It is like so weird because they talk about it in the front of this book, but then they don't show you what the heck does that sentence mean according to the code back here. How would you know what it looks like and what it does? So I took whatever guideline they were going over and put a screenshot. Okay, it means exactly this is where you look for that information. This is where it'll be in the book to give you some clarity on what the heck it is. Plus, I put in, of course, what it's going to look like if in a coding scenario. So if it's this scenario, you'll code G first and then the site of the pain. If it's something else, you're going to do the underlying cause and then the G pain. So I make sure that you know the differences in what it would look like coding-wise next to the guideline. And it's typed so you don't have to read my chicken scratch like last year. And it has the screen prints. So I was real proud of it. I hope it makes a difference and it's something that can carry you on and you can keep throughout your career because, I mean, all this NEC and NOS, there's no screenshots. It doesn't tell you what, it describes maybe what it looks like or where it's at in the book, but the screenshots are really going to help. It really does, and it'll help with throughout your career because these guidelines don't go away. They're 33 pages. Yeah, we have some updates every year. The only thing that got updated at 2022 is they added back here a new section called Social Determination where they're wanting us to collect information whether the patient is homeless or had food insecurities throughout the year so that because that affects people's health. So we've never collected that information before. So that's the only difference. Even if you have the 2021 books or the 2020 books, my guidelines notes that you have that you can get from the Etsy are going to be helpful to you for years to come. So absolutely, those are super helpful no matter what. And thank you for the feedback. If you find anything in there that could be improved on or anything was unclear, because what I think is clear, but I've been in medicine for 20 years. So, I'm trying to explain it and show you things like if you've never been in medicine before, where it would be, what it looks like, how you would code it. But if I missed something, be sure and let me know. Love all the feedback. But thank you so much, Kimber. I'm glad you like it. You're taking your exam tomorrow too, Irene. Oh, so exciting. So exciting. I know so many wait till the end of the year and everybody's taking it right here at the holiday time. Don't let the stress get you. Whether it's a bones or a no bones day, don't worry about it. Do some self-care before your exam. Make sure your books are in your car if you're taking it in person. Go on and do that tonight. Go on and put them in the car. Go on and make sure you have your AAPC membership ID number written in one of your books because you can't take an electronic device with you and you can't bring it up. So if you don't know it by heart, please be sure and write it down. Go on and put your books in your car. Go on and lay out everything you're going to wear tomorrow, including socks, everything. go on and have it sitting out, what shoes you're going to wear, have it all out so that when you get up in the morning, you can get dressed without looking for anything, searching for anything. You can get in your car and go. Your books are already in there, and whatever your sweet spot is for hours of sleep, try your best to get that. I know my sweet spot used to be 5.5 hours of sleep every night. Now it's a little bit longer, 2 hours longer, but back in my active working full-time in an office situation, I could run on 5.5 hours. That was my sweet spot. If I slept too much longer than that, I got groggy and my eyes would water. It was an awful day until like noon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I finally woke up. I don't know why that is. So weird. But whatever your sweet spot is, be sure and try your best to get that much sleep. And try to eliminate all decisions in the morning before your exam. Even if you're taking it online from home, eliminate all decision making. Go on and have your clothes set out. Do a little exercise in the morning. That always seems to clear people's minds. Do a walk, a run, something, treadmill, exercise bike. A lot of people say that helps. You know, the Sonic peppermints, that hard candy, legitimate studies show that students who have that peppermint candy in their mouth during an exam score higher than other students. It's really weird, but it is proven. Also, the color yellow and green make for higher scores. Whether the room is painted that color or the student wears those colors, they get higher scores on exams. So that's fun. Little trivia there. Every little bit helps. Let's see, I just got a message. Let's see who's dinging. Just saying good luck. Everybody's saying good luck. Andrea's saying good luck. Lily's saying good luck. Everybody is. Very best of luck, Irene, and I hope I've made some sort of difference and helped you for sure. And somebody might be back later. Kimber, great quality. Thank you, my brain. I needed it simplified. I tried. I have, I don't know, I did some teaching and education before I thought about doing this, and I had to break things down and look at them differently, because sometimes what's in a curriculum that tells you, okay, you teach the student this way. Well, that doesn't work. Not for everybody. You have to think of a different way to teach certain students certain things. So I think all that helped. Especially during COVID, because I had 2 junior high students home for a year and a half, and I'm not good at junior high math. Is no joke, man. And they send you these videos and these worksheets and tell you to teach this to your kids. Well, that's a bunch of hogwash. I can't teach nobody whatever they just said in that video. That's craziness. So then I had to figure out different ways, for the 2 kids are just totally different. One learns one way and one learns another way. So yeah, I think that helped me see how things should be broken down. So anyway, I love the feedback. Thank you. Hey, Jess, you too are going to be taking your exam soon. I can't wait. I hope it goes very, very well. Christy said good luck for everybody. Wishing you all the luck for sure. I have some practice questions, and I have some more information I forgot to add in. I can't believe I forgot about these, but we had a person I was mentoring. She took her exam, and she posted in chat what was on her exam. So, Jess, if you're paying attention, I screenshotted them because I was busy in another meeting doing something else, and I forgot about those screenshots. And I was looking through the cell phone today of my 27 screenshot photos. And I found her information. I never added it to our cheat sheets of what was on there. Ange, I can't wait for Monday, one-on-one. Yay, Ange, yay. 4 o'clock, right? I think we're going to do one at 4 or 2. I can't remember. I get confused with the hours, but yes, yay, one-on-one goes so fun. Just at 8 a.m. Oh my gosh. The one-on-one, especially if I know what sections you want to go over and I prepare ahead of time and I have some questions that I want you to practice learning and doing on your own. And then if you do get it wrong, I show you where the insight is on how to never be wrong again. It really goes really well. I love it to have somebody come into the tutoring and be so nervous and be overwhelmed and unable to get a thought across about how they're going to attack a question. And by the end of our tutoring session, they have it down. A light bulb has gone off and they can see it's not as bad as before, what they thought it was going to be. So the tutoring is so much fun. It really is. Just before you schedule a tutoring, it might not be a bad idea, and I need to update my website. Tutoring for same day, like if you're going to schedule and say in 1 hour, she has an opening in 1 hour, let's tutor. That's going to be difficult because I like to prepare ahead of time. Plus, sometimes I'm not near my phone for an hour. I might be doing dishes or in a real work meeting or who knows what I'm doing. So be sure if you're going to schedule tutoring, schedule it for a day off at least so that I can sit down. The next time I sit down to my phone, I can say, okay, what do you want to go over? And I can talk to you and then I'll know to prepare and get it ready. So I probably need to add some cautionary tale about that in there because I think she scheduled one for today and then I didn't look at my phone for 2 hours. I had the living room tore apart and was vacuuming. Fridays are my get out the Hoover and vacuum, and I was doing the ceiling fan, so I wasn't doing anything important. I was just vacuuming. Anyway, Jess, I'm hoping that you're looking at these, are some of the added information that I wanted to add about her exam. She had a lot of eye stuff in it, where the last person had a lot of urinary stuff. She had a lot of eye stuff. That is one of your eyes. You remember how one of our modifiers are E1 and E2 for the upper and lower eyelids? Well, OU is another abbreviation for an eye. So she was unclear on what was going on with the joint, but she did later on say it was about a knee joint, something about a knee. They had information about cornea was on her exam. A pancreas islet was on her islet, however you want to say that, was on her exam. Somebody else chimed in and said that was on their exam as well. I'll try to find an exam question with that word in it, but so far I haven't found one, and I just now realized I had her screenshots too, so I'm a little behind. What part of Medicare pays for assisted living? That was on her exam. That Warthin tumor, that's the tumor in the salivary gland that was on her exam, so be sure you know about a war tumor. War tumor is salivary gland. This day cry, we all know that's about the eye and it's about the lacrimal duct, right? But this one's an itis instead of the swelling, not the swelling, but the blockage. We've had the blockage of the tear ducts. Now we've got an infection in the tear ducts, was on another person's exam. So she had a hard one about a joint in the knee. Remember, if you're diagnosing anything with a joint, according to ICD-10, now that will change when we move on to ICD-11, but for right now, ICD-10 You do not diagnose anything in the joints. You diagnose with the bone involved. Osteoporosis is a good example with this one. You don't say that somebody has osteoporosis in some sort of joint. You say they have it in the elbow or hand, knee. You say the bones. So that's one thing I can tell you about joints. There may be an injection in a joint or a drainage in a joint. Can be two different things. I remember having a it was a hip pix one for a knee joint on mine, and I believe I added it to my musculoskeletal right here. That hip pix, the J13, is that 7324? And then I had the J1020. Both of those medications were on my exam for either joint injections or they did a drainage. So maybe that'll help. The other things that she had on there, see, it just confused her. She had ABN in there also. We know what that is. That's on our other, somebody else said that the ABN was on theirs. So it was easy because they had written that down on their notes. There was some acronyms that were on their exam. Please do not forget, guys, that you've got a whole list of acronyms in the back of your CPT book in this back cover hidden area. A whole list in alphabetical order, so it doesn't matter what body part you're going to. You don't have to figure that out since they're in alphabetical order. Just know that some of them will have a couple of definitions. Like this IVC has two different distinct definitions, two different types of ways that you can count that one, separated by a comma. So some of them, if it's not the first thing, don't give up. It might be something else later on in the note. So don't forget about that. There was a question about HIPAA and abuse. And there was an acronym about respiratory disease. And we have one in our notes about the respiratory disease that we've gone over. What was that one? RDS. Y'all remember? That was the acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS. So maybe that's what she was talking about. She forgot which hip picks there was, because she was running out of time too, but she appreciated all the help too. So, and she did pass. I saw her post on AAPC website that said she finally passed. So that's awesome. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But I got that stuff added to our cheat sheet of what's been on recent CPC exams the last few 8 weeks or so. So that's been added. That will be helpful. I went over the previous stuff that I'd already had collected on Wednesday's Live. If you missed it, I can post it on YouTube tonight. I forgot to do that too. I need to do that. But just in case you need me, you can find me on Medical Coding by Jen. You can schedule those tutoring there. Just give me a day's heads up if you're going to schedule it. That way we can coordinate what you want to talk about. I can prepare it ahead of time. It goes a lot easier that way. And then that way I can make sure I'm prepared for whatever we're going to talk about. YouTube, Coding by Jen, has everything on there. A little tougher than I thought. Christy, what is it? It was a little tougher than I thought. Did she pass too? I took my exam on the 4th and the 5th of November. Yeah. And you passed. Yay. Yeah. Are you kidding? It really, really is very, very tough. It's throwing everything it can. Everything it can at you all at once. You got to know E&M to cardiology to medicine to surgery to, it's just everything, everything all at once, instantly. And there's no time to review any guidelines. There's no time to review your laws, anything. It's just go, 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 answer, answer, answer instantly. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm so glad you passed. So that's our third one we've heard about this week. Yeah, very cool. If you remember anything at all, any vocabulary or certain sections they really hit, or a weird anything, you can let us know. Maybe you could make a difference, because a lot of people are not passing by one question, just 2 points away, 68. And if you share one vocabulary word that makes a difference, and they know it right before they go in, and then they see it on their exam, and that's their one exam question that they might have missed otherwise, and they walk out of there with their 70, that's life-changing for everybody. That's going to give them their certification that they need to keep on with their career. So if you know anything on there, it really is a tough exam for sure. Hey, Miss Jen, would you like to know if AAPC offers Black Friday sales on their books? Hi. Would you know if... Yes, they do Black Friday sales on books and courses too. Right now, I saw their auditing course was 59% off at like $1,200 or something, including the practice exams and stuff. They may even go even lower on that to get it well under $1,000. But they usually do have Black Friday sales, yes. I always buy their stuff as soon as I get my income tax return and just do it there, because I know I've got the extra money, and then I just do it then. I don't ever wait for whatever. I'm probably the worst at planning out stuff like that, and usually I'm a pretty good couponer, but when I get the money at tax time, I just spend it on my books and then this yearly certification, and I'm done. Then I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Your brain has to be firing on all 4 cylinders. Let me tell you, yes, it really does. It really, really, really does. Yeah, if you're sick in any way, you wake up with a respiratory infection, a UTI, anything, eat the $100 and reschedule your exam, because it's going to be rough. It really will be, is my advice. If you've got it, just make sure you're off on all cylinders. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Connor, how's it going? All right, so my notes that they were talking about are on Etsy. There's a link in my bio here on Tiki Talk. So after the live, I think you can push on my little face up there, that frizzy hair with the boys in the background, and you can click on the link that's in the bio, which kind of looks like, let's see, this. It'll look like this when you click on my face, and then that right there, if you click on that question mark Jen, it'll take you to the site, and it'll put in a coupon for 20% off too, by the way. And there's also my email address if you want to email me, and you can send me questions there too. All right. Get this lappy toppy to flip around like it should. And let me know if y'all really want to see anything with this exam collaboration of information that I've added. But I did go over this Wednesday. Most of y'all were already here. This is just the stuff that we found so far that has been on people's recent exams. And then today I added in our last lady's information right here about the pancreas islet and stuff. I'll go get some more information about each one of these and add some details to it. so that we're not just left with just the word. I can actually tell you exactly what it means and what AAPC is looking for in those, but I'm just adding to it for right now. Let me get up today's exam question words. Let's try not to get y'all to look at the answers. Let me get today's questions up that I have. I have some respiratory and cardiology to go over. Hopefully this is helpful. Move my book around here. Get this flappy thing closed. Get this over here. There was somebody who shared in chat too, by the way, that I have not added to our list of things. She just took her exam this week, and she said 3 of her questions were this covered on this page that she filled out. So if y'all want to screenshot this, this is from one of my mentees. She took a lot of my advice by labeling which one's first, second, third, fourth, fifth in here on, and I'm sure it was the differences between the iliac and the duodenum, the cecum, what comes first, second, third, whatever. There was, though, 3 questions were answered just from that page altogether on her quiz, whichever quiz she got. I don't even know if we know which one she had, but that's super cool. We've got an Amber Alert. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I have to always stop when there's a freaking, what if it was my kid? So we have a child abduction here. Her name is Loyalty My Love Holt. She's wearing a hot pink tank top, black tights, unicorn on them. She's with a 29-year-old. She's 40. How old was she? I think they said she was 3. Anyway, they don't say what she's driving, but she's black hair, 40 pounds, and a pink tank top, unicorn. So anyway, I just had to go see who was abducted. I live 15 minutes away from California, 15 minutes away from Nevada, but I'm in Arizona, so I'm like right in the middle. This abduction happened in California. But I don't think the suspect, Eleonora Kamen. Eleonora. Anyway, I don't think I'm near where they are, but I still got the alert, and I'm pretty sure I won't see her in my house here, but anyway, I just had to go check and make sure. Yeah, I hope she's found soon too. Goodness. Scary stuff. It always stresses me out. It's like, what did my kid wear out the door? It's like, could I even remember what the heck my child had on the last time I saw them? Because, they're 12. They're unlucky if they shower. So, they're running in their room, running out of clothes. and leaving them in the floor. You can see their walking marks in their clothes, and then putting on new ones and running back out the door when they change activities from motorcycles to skateboards to football. They're just, changing clothes. I'm always worried I'm not going to even remember what they're wearing. It's stressful to have those bad thoughts. No bad thoughts. Ugh. Me and my crane. Okay, process of elimination, guys. This helps with you getting done with the CPC exam on time when you only have 120 seconds per question. And you need to get through quickly. And that's from the time the exam starts. If you're taking it in person, you need to actually break into the exam. The paper exam is sealed with some stickers, and you got to get through those stickers to even open up the exam, and your time is already ticking away per question. So it's so stressful, y'all. It really is. Let's see. All right. My one kid is crunching up, making some noise out there. Okay, so let me get my drawing tool out. So this process of elimination goes to a process or a technique of trying to answer the questions without reading the questions. And you start out that process by looking at the answers numerically. See if you see anything that's super close to each other or could be eliminated. Now this one, the 01 and the 05 are so close, but this 310 and 310, the 70 and 90 are also super close. So I would have to do this test question in 2 steps. I'm going to have to go look up the 70, and I'm going to have to go look up the 05, see under which heading these are, to do a process of elimination, to eliminate 2 first, whichever they are, and then go back and narrow it down by whichever the 2 are left. So the first in sequence is going to be these 310s. So 310/70 is going to be first. Let's go to that one. I don't have this section marked up in my CPT book because I believe this section is in respiratory, and respiratory I typed out by hand myself last year. So you won't see a lot of markings in this one, I don't think, if I'm in the right spot. 310, but that's okay. If you have a clean book that does not have any markings in it, you need to know how to look up some of these codes too, just in case you end up with a book that isn't done. So 310/70 is up here, and then 90 is going to be below it. We need to look underneath what heading we're under, and this is some sort of sinus removal, right? And then the 90 is the same thing. So we're at a sinusotomy, whatever. Otomy, your suffix is supposed to be removal. So can't tell much there because we haven't even looked at the question yet. But let's go to 312/01, which is the next one in sequence. 312/01. Where are you? Up here at the top. So these are under excisions. Excisions or removals. Sort of like the same thing, right? Kind of like the same things. So this is going to be a difficult one, right? So we need to look for key terms that are normally in these CPT codes. When I look at these CPT codes, if it was going to be the 00 or the 05, I see the difference. Right here is intra and extra. And then if I go over here to the 70, we've got an external, and then the 90 is going to be a unilateral. Seems to be like a word that is going to be key. So I need to know if what we're doing is matching any of those key terms that are in the thing. Because we've got an extra here, and because we have an external here, I'm going to think that they're trying to make me decide which one is which, just off my premonition of how AAPC works and what they're trying to make me think the question is leading to. So we're going to not read this question, but we're going to start with this word and work our way backwards. And we're going to look through here and see if we see anything that's going to match any of those terms. I do see that extra right there, right? Extra nasal. That matches with the 05. The other extra that was over here under the 70 is more of an external. It's not extra. So if you look at 70, there's no extra nasal listed. If you look at 90, there's no extra nasal listed here either. The other one, the 00, there is no extra nasal. The only one that has anything listed that matches your keyword search is that one for extra nasal. That one extra word is in here. And I have the luxury of knowing these CPT codes ahead of time. I hand typed them out. So I knew that there was a difference between the intranasal and the extranasal because I typed this section out. And that's the one thing that you need to consider when you're going through this book and you're actually boxing in your codes, and then you're highlighting what comes after the semicolon. That you can do mindlessly, right? You can sit in your chair, yell at the kids, watch a TV show. You're going to box the parent and the child codes together. You're going to highlight what comes after the semicolon and then what the child code says. But when you go back and you start annotating and really looking to see what's the difference between this excision of tumor and this excision of tumor, they're both excision, they're both tumor, they're both soft tissue, they're both soft tissue. They're both upper arm, they're both elbow area. Why do I even have anything really listed here or even underlined? Don't know, really. The only true difference, right, between these two is subcutaneous and subfacial. That's truly what I should have only highlighted and noted. I should put sub here, subfacial, or write the word facial, and then right here I should put cutaneous. Just so when I look at these codes, I see cutaneous and I see facial. That's my key differences. This stuff right up here is what the other programs from other people have showed me to do. And the more and more that I've gone through these questions and realizing what the differences are, some of our annotations are just useless because it's the same thing in that one and that one. The only difference, and the one thing that I really needed to pay attention to, was that word. And that's why when I went through and I typed out these, and there's not a lot of markings in here because I only marked what I was told in that BAT program or CAVE or whatever. That wasn't what the deal was. The deal was something else. And I'm noticing now more and more what exactly it is that we needed to make note of to be beneficial. So my notes for 2022 are turning out, hopefully, to be as more beneficial than they've ever been, because I'm going to show you exactly what is going to be the key point in that one CPT that will make a difference for your questions in your exam. Anywho, all that talk just means that B is the right answer for us. You can see that C is not going to be the answer because it's intra when we're extra. Here's our next one. Oops. Don't come out of there yet. There we go. Come on. Trying to get this to show without showing the answer. Put that there. That way I don't have to worry about it. Come on, focus. There we go. But it's so low. I know y'all need it higher. Okay. All right, well, right away, right here, we've got O1 and O1 all the same. And then the 7 and 6, they might be close, but they're not the same. So that's kind of interesting. And the other thing is, sorry, I wish that was just clear. It's just so fuzzy, fuzzy-wuzzy. Okay. We have a Cancer. You know, the C's are Cancer. And then when would an R code ever go before a Cancer code? If you're thinking about your guidelines, you know, when would you ever do that? When would you do, what do you ever put in front of Cancer? Now, if they had a fracture, if they were being seen for something like a fractured leg, maybe secondary, and their cancer's not even involved. If they're being seen for chemotherapy treatment, you know, you've got a Z code that goes for that. But when would an R code go for that? What's the R section? Is that respiratory? That'd be funny if it was, but I don't think it is. I'm not sure. We're in the coma scales. We've got signs and symptoms of lots of stuff. This is just signs and symptoms. Abnormal clinical laboratory and stuff. That's what R is. Do you think that would ever go before Cancer? Yeah. Would that ever go before Cancer? Think about that. And I don't think I remember ever seeing that a lab result would ever go before Cancer, right? So just if I did process of elimination, these two are the same, I'm going to keep them, then I could eliminate one because that just would not be coded. You know, I like y'all to go through the process of elimination numerically, right? But then I also want you to reason out the codes that are there. If you see something that would never go, then you know what your answer is going to be, right? And you can move on to your next question. You truly could. You know, that's part of this process of elimination and part of seeing what the magic of seeing what would not go together can do for you, especially if you're in a pinch. If you want to go through the process of eliminating these because those are so similar and they're only one code away, absolutely, you can do that. But I just want you to know that this is a possibility too. You've got two that are the same. And that is just like AAPC, to give you two that are same, but one guideline difference, right? This would be counted as a guideline difference. Anyway, for clarity on the CPTs, we can go to the first 32606. 32606 is over here. We're under VAST. And the other one would be 7, which is the same thing. And then the other code, which is in 2 of the answers, is 39401. 39. So if you're chicken to do it the way I attempted to do it the first time, you can go look up the 3 codes that are the difference. Do your process of elimination. So we've got 39401. 39401. Right here we're under endoscope. So the other header for the other 2 is under VATS. And it's a thoracoscope. Thoracoscope versus an endoscope. Okay? And in fact, it's under the that's where they do CPR, right? That, whatever body part that is. I can't ever say that one. So we'll go up here to our test question. You can look to see what procedure they're going to be doing, which is that right there. And they did do that where they do the CPR, right? They did do the O1. So then when you looked at the A and B after that, when you could eliminate these 2, because you're not doing a VAT, because it would say VAST in the question. You are doing that procedure. Now when you look at these diagnosis codes, ration them out. You know these guidelines, even though you think you might not. I've taught them. You know there's only just a few limitation of things that will go before your cancer codes. And that's going to be if they're getting treated for something, if the visit is being treated for something, even if it's for their cancer, if they're being treated, they're getting their Z51 code, right, for their cancer. Now, if they're there being treated for a fractured bone or a stab wound, something totally unrelated to their cancer, but yep, they're still got cancer, of course. You want to take that in consideration in your plan of care. You don't want to introduce a bunch of stuff that could affect their cancer or cancer treatment badly. It'll be a side note most likely, but you will have a fracture code. But lab results, abnormal lab results, definitely would not be one of those reasons why you would put that there, unless they're being treated for anemia. But anemia has its own guideline for cancer, and if it's related to the treatment of cancer that made them anemic, there's a guideline for that. And then there's also a guideline for it if it's just due to the cancer that made them anemic. So, but definitely not a particular lab result. That would not happen. So you can still eliminate that one and know that B is the right answer for sure. Anyway, long explanation to get there. Ooh, look what our next question is. I'm going to take this off the stand because it's driving me nuts. But our next question, just look at that right away. I didn't plan this out, but just look at those answers. Would B and D ever happen? Would those ever happen? Sorry. Would you ever have a C code before their Z code? Ooh. Come on. Let me go over here. Sometimes it likes to focus on that first before it comes over here to these. Nope. Connor's right. You would never have your Z51. That one particular code, you would never have it before your cancer. They're either there for cancer treatment or not. Look at this. They're here for radiation treatment. So what do you know is their very first code? Their very first code is going to be Z51, right? Always. And that's the only answer with that one. That's my 2020. Where's my 2021? Is that HipPix? That's my PSC. I got so many books, y'all. I got every freaking year known to man here, because I never know what I want to show y'all, so I like to have it all around just in case. So I'm going to show you the guidelines right here. Even though I have my point in the wrong spot, it'll tell you right there your Z51 code is first. If they're here for radiation, if their malignancy caused an anemia, you're still going to code their malignancy first and then their anemia. If the cancer treatment for their neoplasm caused them to be anemic, then you're going to do their anemia first, their neoplasm, their cancer, and then that T code. If it's radiation that caused them to be anemic, then you'll do that first, and then their neoplasm, and then the radiation code. Dehydration and malignancy also has a guideline that you need to know about too. But I teach about them all the time to remind you. But hopefully, with this question, you can just gander at it and know the answer without even looking at the question, because you've been in my lives, you've been in our group chat room, you know. And we have a group chat room for free that we talk in every day, guys. Right here, this is everybody talking. We share all kinds of information. Sorry, I didn't mean share the daughter, but tonight's homecoming. Somebody's got homecoming, but I share all kinds of information about cool things that I find on the internet. We go over questions and answers and everybody's successes. If you want to be a part of our chat group, just come find me. I've got a request now on Messenger at Jen Brewer. I don't think you even need to have Facebook. I think you can just go to the App Store, download Messenger, then come find me. Walmart's trying to talk to me. I wonder what they did. And message me here. I will find your request and then add you into our chat room. And once you get there, you can hit this little eye icon at the top. Then you can scroll down to photos and videos, and you will see all the information that I have shared throughout the history of this chat, and see all the information that has been shared. Super cool information, how to do things, some test questions, things you should add to your books, what we've done to our books, how they look. Put all the information as far as the what does Medicare Part A, Part B pay for, what does OPPS stand for, what does Medicare Part A, B, what is UBN, what is APC. I put all that information in the front of my CPT book before the E&M section. So if there's any laws or regulations that I need to look up, I go there. Anyway, tons of information there if you want to join our little chat group. We talk every day. Some people share their books and they got a lot prettier handwriting than I do. They do a fantastic job for sure. There's that peppermint. That's what you want to have in your mouth during your exam for sure. There's my cat. She's watching Squirrel TV. But we share all kinds of information in there. Just anything that we think that might help anybody pass their exam. And then I also do practice exam questions and share photos of the prep of my books. So, anyway, that's yours, Connor. Yep, there's your heart. It seems like Z is a history code, but it's not. That means current treatment for chemotherapy, radiation, or immunotherapy. Certain Z codes are current codes. Like when you do a well child exam, I think there's a Z, what is that, 23 code, Z23. That means today we're just doing a well child exam on a well child, and that code will go first in your claim. So some of the Z codes are not history codes. You'd think they were, but there's a few. There's never anything in absolute in the coding game. They'll tell you, oh, pregnancy, this whole chapter trumps all other chapters in the ICD-10 book. And then the very next paragraph, they're telling you, oh, well, if she falls and has a fractured leg, yeah, you code that first. Oh, wait, if she has HIV, we're going to code it different. If she has allergic reaction to medication, no, we're going to code it different. So and there's nothing absolute in these books. So there's no history code that is just absolute, all just Z codes are all history. So it's fun. Coding is so fun. That's why I do not like coding. I'm not a coder, by the way. I don't code for a living. I audit medical, everything medical, anything medical. I audit everything from the time a member gets insurance to what group plan and health information that they get, whether it's TRICARE, Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, commercial, private, it doesn't matter what they have. I follow the trail of their medical information from the time that it is submitted from their employer, actually, to the health plan, then through the data warehouses, to medical groups, to the insurance companies, to the contracted network or in-network or out-of-network providers like hospitals, ambulance services, all that information and how it's gathered, how it's stored, even like with hardware, software, and then how it's submitted and handled and processed and then sent back to the data warehouses for processing claims, and then the way it gets all the way to CMS and then returns back to any medical groups for payment or to the insurance companies for payment. I follow the trail of everything there is to be medical, including inside the offices, whether the culture tubes in the office have current expiration dates on them, whether even their blood pressure cuffs have been calibrated that year, if they're keeping up with their temperature logs on their vaccines. Do they have food stored inside their vaccine refrigerators? I've seen coffee pots on top of charts. If their free medication from the drug companies is expired, logged, tracked, lot numbers. Do we know which ones were given out to which patients? Nope. Making sure that that's not all expires, to whether their cotton balls have an expiration date on the bottom of their little glass jars that are up on top of the cabinets that you'll see. They're supposed to have a removable date at the bottom that says the date they put them in there. Are they 1 week old or are they 5 years old? Kind of want to know that, right? They need to change them out so often. So I audit everything there is to know with medicine. And I love it. I love auditing for sure. But y'all are making me have another passion in my life, which is making sure people circumvent the propaganda that is inside this CPC exam that is making you fail every single time, and you think it's you, but it's not you. It is the way the exam is written, which is not taught in a way, even after you spend $4,000 on some course from the people that do the exam, that they do not prepare you for that exam. You pay all this money and you know nothing about what to expect during that exam and how to prepare for it. So y'all are making me have another passion for sure. So this is turning out to be quite fun. Let's go over this next question here. What do we like and what would we get rid of here on this one if I could hold my phone slow and still? We see anything we like or don't like? What would y'all consider outliers? I see this one's got a lot of diagnoses. This one has three things going. This 7-7 seems to be in a lot of them. It's in actually all of them, right? It's very interesting. We got some modifiers here that could make a difference. Interesting. I probably lost everybody with my rant and raves. But for process of elimination, these are just like 8-5, 8-5, 8-7, 8-5. Kind of all over, but I like the zeros. The 5-5-5 is cool number. Yeah. Do you keep B and D? 38500. 38500 is under excision. If I can get my phone to cooperate. 8-5 and then 8-5-5-5. Is that still under excision? 5-5-5 is still under excision too. Very cool. So they're both under excision. Let's read from the last word backwards. Are we doing an excision? I see removal, right? Lympectomy. Ectomies? I see neoplasm, lymph node, ectomies, neck. What do 8589, what is that one? 8589. That's unspecified. I don't know what you are. And it's a scope, though. Are we doing a scope? What's the 8700? 8700 is an ectomy. Are we doing what this header says is an excision, where we've got biopsies, open to the 5-5-5 excision. Oh gosh, come on, cell phone. Or are we doing an ectomy? And see, we see the word ectomy in here, right? Gosh, dog, come on, cell phone. I swear to Bob. So we have the lymphanectomy. Is that what we're under? Lymphanectomy. The only one that's under lymphanectomy is that 8700, right? No other code is under this. We also have the word suprahyoid. Didn't I see that somewhere? Yep. Suprahyoid area. Yep. So, process of elimination was pretty tough on this one. And I just had to go through the codes and see if anything matched. If you don't see anything that matched, don't look too long, don't look too hard. If you don't see a word of excision or removal, I mean, you don't see anything that's going to be AKA for that, just keep looking, just keep moving, keep going through the list one at a time. Stay with your headers. I don't care what this, I didn't even look to see what the freaking code said really till the end. Your headers will save you, right? Excision or an ectomy. And this had ectomy on it several places, right? Ectomy, ectomy. That's all I needed to do. So if it doesn't match, keep moving. Keep looking at your headers. That's all I had. That's all I had, guys. Oh my gosh. It was just a few. What time is it? I don't know if my time is right on this phone. Yeah, my time is so wrong on this phone. I wonder why. That's weird. It's almost 8 o'clock. There it goes. Now it's going right. That was so weird. It still said 6:49. I'm like, I have not been on here for 15 minutes. Here's my page where she said there was 3 answers. This is how mine start out. She had way more information than I did on that page. And I am definitely going to update mine to match for sure. Because she had some more information on hers. 3 questions from her CPC exam were answered by this page. That's pretty cool. She labeled hers a little differently, where she started out her 1, 2, and 3s. I started out mine of digestion with the oral cavity. Then I went to the esophagus. Then I did the stomach for some reason. And then the gallbladder, the duodenum, ileum, cecum. These are the areas and the way that I labeled them to keep them in order. I had to draw in the descending colon. She did too. Doesn't matter as long as you know which one was first, which one's second, which one's third, when they start going in here with the ascending colon. She also had hers listed as far as which ones were part of the small intestines, and I think that was the question that was on mine. Which ones were part of the large intestines, that kind of stuff. I believe the bile and the gallbladder were important to somebody's recent exam, right? And the gallbladder was important. Very cool information. Very good. Very detailed. Love it. I will make sure when I go through and do this section that I will be typing this year, that we will make sure that we get all that added information in there. I saw somebody have this CPT exam, the spiral bound book for sale for $58, free shipping at a place called Second Sale. So it was supposed to be in really good condition, I guess. So I don't know if that's helpful to anybody, but if you wanted to upgrade any of your books before your exam, the CPT is the one that I would recommend. You can take any ICD-10. I think you have to have them within 2 years of your, you can't have them like 6-year-old books, but the ICD-10 and your HIP books, if they're older versions, that's fine. But having an upgraded CPT, since 100 questions of the 150 questions are from here, I recommend that for sure. Is there anything that anybody wants to go over? Do you want me to go through that list again on what I've collected as far as what was on other people's recent exams? I can also go through my examples that I already have in the book. Like this was a cleft palate that was removed, or fixed, repaired, plus a tonsillectomy. What they did and what they used, code-wise, was those two codes together. That was cool. That was his second surgery for his cleft palate, plus he got a tonsillectomy at the same time. That was what was on my exam. Thought that was cool. If you did a tonsillectomy and an adenoidectomy, which is what I had done, you used that code. I believe I was like 7, 8 years old, somewhere around there. I remember getting to go to a closet at the end of the procedure or something and picking out a toy. And I got this doll in a bottle. She was like a perfume bottle, and it was like a Polly Pocket. You opened up the bottle she lived in, and she smelled good. She was like grape flavored, and her hair. I just loved that doll. That was a great little doll. She was just small, little handheld thing, but I really enjoyed her. When they have a biopsy listed, I try to write it right there so it's super close. When it's a foreign body, I add that into the side. Be sure and mark your do nots and your do's. Super helpful during your exam to make sure before you code that and pick that answer to make sure it does not have one of those codes with it in the answer so that you don't get it wrong. This one already has that radiology included in there. Includes fluoroscope guidance. That's why they don't have those two codes in there. Super important. Don't forget about that during your exam. I've got 10 of you in here. What do you want to go over? I can bring up my old practice exams. We can do some more process of elimination. I can go over what was on people's exams recently, our list. Or we can do some more anesthesia, some more E&Ms. What would y'all like? Let's do this anesthesia one since I found it. And I don't have any markings on it. E&M. You want to go over some E&M? I can bring up that. I have a... What's that one? Okay. I have an E&M. Is it documents? Where is it? Practice exam, an E&M one. I've just been like throwing a bunch of E&M questions on it as we go and putting them all on here, piling them on. I have 45 of them. They're not going to be shrunk into 3x5 tonight because I don't have that capability. Oh, with this one because it's already formatted. So let me get my cranny thing back together because it fell so that I can keep this steady so you're not looking at a drunk wall. If I can. Hold on just a second. No, I lost that little piece. There it is. Oh, gosh. I'm so glad when they give me the permission to actually use the desktop. they approved me for being able to have a business suite through TikTok, which should allow me. I'll be in the beta testing. They have a beta testing group for a business something or another, instead of this being like part of the teenager app thingy. They're going to let me be part of their business app thing. And I had to submit some paperwork for that. I'm hoping that will give me the ability to be able to use the desktop to go live with, because when I do that, I have a whole teacher camera setup that is different than this crane thingy, so it will be awesome, I think. A whole lot better than using a cell phone because it's supposed that teacher camera is used to zooming in and zooming out of things like it's supposed to. So let's go to E&M here. And let's look. We've got new patient right here. Hopefully y'all can see the codes. I've got C and D are new patient. Y'all know that because these are zeros right before, second to the last digit. Well, that one's not. That's a procedure, huh? That's a 0. That is a new patient code right there. That is just a procedure code, like in the back of the book, like where CPR and all that stuff is. And then what's 41 and 52? Let's see, 99241. Don't memorize them all, but we're under consultation with the 41, and then 52 is under inpatient consultation. So 41 is in an office consultation, 52 is in a hospital consultation, and this is a new patient established visit. This one we can probably get rid of, but we need to look at the last sentence to make sure it's not asking us to just code a procedure. Because if they said something about how would you code this test for today, this radiology thing or something, it would be that answer and then we can move on. But since it's obviously asking us about somebody's office visit, we're going to keep these right here. So the thing that we need to keep in mind for consultations, it has to be doctor to doctor ask for. If it's the insurance company or the patient who requests a second opinion, they do not get to bill for a consultation. They get a new patient visit. So let's go see what's going on with this patient, and let's see if the patient requested or if it's the actual insurance company or if the patient's doctor did. We've got a 90-year-old patient ask for a second opinion. So y'all know right away with that one word right there that the patient asked, 2 words, that they don't get to bill for any consultation. That would get rid of all of those. And the only answer you can come up with for this one is absolutely C. They don't get any consultation credit for that. So when you on the list from your phone, HIPAA and abuse. Hey, Ange. That's what you want to go over, is about HIPAA and abuse. Phone's going off. I think I have a question too that I have up somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I do have, like, which one of these is fraud, which one of these is abuse. I have some questions like that, but being able to find them on the fly, that's why I like to know ahead of time so I can go find all my stuff. I have so much information, and I want to create, like that other lady has created, exams specific to each chapter. Like, I want to do exam questions just for fraud and abuse, just for our guidelines, just for E&M. I want to separate them all out. I'm just running around like a mad woman trying to complete all these 2022 sections too. I was trying to bring up my HIPAA. I have two guideline one-sheeter things for HIPAA, and this is the one for HIPAA, right? Yeah. So be sure you know exactly what HIPAA stands for. Like, don't let them confuse you. HIPAA, Health, Insurance, Portability, and Accountability. They may switch out some of those words for another word that starts with the P, but be sure you actually know what the abbreviation stands for, like the specific term. So I have the definition here, and then I have the patient's, what they can do. They can request their medical records. They can amend their medical records. They can limit who has access to them. They can choose how we communicate with them. Like, if they don't want us leaving voicemails, things like that, they have the right to complain about unauthorized disclosure of their PHI, whatever. There are 5 rules with HIPAA. There's a privacy rule, a security rule, a breach rule, an OMIBUS rule, and an enforcement rule. Be sure you know or have those lists written down. There's an encryption rule also, a requirement. They don't call it a rule, but they would call it a requirement that you need to make sure that everybody in your staff has their passwords, and then the list of how much the fines are. This is part of the one-sheeter that I made for HIPAA. I broke it down into another one where I just list out just the 5 things. I was just trying to find that. But I doubt I will be able to find a particular question for HIPAA right now on the fly. Where am I going to find this at? Oh, I'd have to find it here and Drive, Etsy project, maybe, or it's under Classroom. There's a guideline from HIPAA. HIPAA has 2. What's this one? Open up, says me. Open up. That's the big one I just did. What's the other one? That's the same one. Darn it. Where's the other one? I have another one that's HIPAA too, but I'm not sure if I posted it here or if it was just a screenshot. I have that screenshot about HIPAA with just the 5 rules. So much stuff. So much stuff. Everybody's stuff I love to save and make sure we show off and have whenever we need it. Those are all these are super important. They're on Quizlets right there. The Quizlets, I have it under where you have the definitions for physician edits. What does NCD mean? I shared these in our chat group. What all these definitions are. Those are super important. I never know which 5 they might ask you during the CPC exam, but I need to make a definition sheet for us that we can write in one of the back note pages of the CPT book with all those guidelines in there. That's another little project I want to do. There's so much I want to do. I'm just spinning my wheels. Always. I'm still looking for my HIPAA thing. Shouldn't really take me that long. Don't know what I did with it. I probably passed it. Maybe I can find it in our chat. If there's our sepsis rule that I've shared recently. Can I search the conversation? I can. Search. Oh, not finding it there either. Not until. I'm trying. Ooh, there's one. Oh my gosh. And it won't come up. Why does it not come up? I click on it and then it doesn't come up. Like I'm searching our conversations and there's one of our HIPAA questions. What year was HIPAA made into? And then I go to it and it doesn't bring it up. I'm like, really? Why are you bringing up a different conversation when I just clicked on that one? That's the one I want. Oh my gosh. So frustrating, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, you've seen those in our chat. But I haven't separated HIPAA questions out amongst any kind of sort of exam prep yet. But I know when I do find them, we go over them in chat, and then, God, why can't I click on that and find it? We're supposed to be able to click on our chat and find it. That's so frustrating because I did the search for HIPAA and I've got one right there. Don't know. So very frustrating. Anyway, that'll drive me nuts. I'll have to audit that forever. This person was rollerblading. Let's look at this questions right here. I don't know if I can make this I don't have anything separated out into what questions individually. But we've got another new patient, right, that you can see right there. We know that's a new patient. Then we've got 84 and 82 that are going to be close together. What are those? 99282? 99282? is under emergency room, and so is 8-4. 8-4 is under emergency room. So we have 2 emergency rooms. So what do you want to bet she's in the emergency room? So we do have an emergency room. What's the same thing about 83 and 84? I hate these questions because they both have the same MDM, which is moderate, right? Both are moderate. One of them is expanded problem. One of them is detailed problem. That doesn't really help you when the MDMs are the same. And I guarantee you AAPC is going to pick one of these emergency room visits. They're going to give you 2 answers where the difference in that question is going to be these 2 because they're both the same. There's very few E&Ms. They're mostly the difference. They're straightforward, they're low, they're high, they're moderate, but there's not very many under the same heading that are the same. But there's a couple of them, and they love to pick on those 2. So what would be an ankle issue in an ER? If you were just looking at these by escalation of a number, 83 means it's a smaller problem than 84, because you know going up that 85 would be like super high complex. This was a big issue. They got hit by a truck while going through dialysis for their 3rd stage kidney disease, and they have a brand new heart transplant. 3 major huge issues. Super high complexity to keep that person alive with the truck hitting them, the heart transplant, and they're under kidney failure right now. Crap ton of crap would be going on right there. But for these 2, it's still an escalation, right? I would always pick a lower one, yeah, for anybody having just an ankle issue. And does it say anything about their age? Nothing, but they don't say anything else. So definitely that would be the difference between those for sure. We've got another one with an 83 where we were just at. This one's medical decision making in the ER is straightforward. We knew right away that this 83 is a moderate. So don't know why they're saying they're established. Does it matter if they're established or not in the ER? No, it doesn't, but are they in the ER? They've actually been admitted. So this 83, we know we wouldn't use, right? Because they're not in the ER. They're admitted. So we need to go somewhere else. So are we going to do, let's try the 5s since those are super close. The 5-3 is under what heading? 99255 is under inpatient consult. And then 5-3 is under inpatient consult with a low complexity. And then 5-5 is high complexity. Still not matching. Nothing is straightforward here, right? What's that 9221? What is that one? 9221. We are under, where are we at? We're out of sequence. We're out of sequence, sort of, kind of. But the 9221 is under initial hospital care, and its MDM actually says straightforward. This one was in a car accident, significant force, right shoulder, history physical, rotator cuff injury, decision was straightforward. Just says attending physician. So I don't think we'd be under any kind of, what was that, 555? Just a 255. Inpatient consultation. Definitely are not doing a consultation when it's just an attending physician, right? So you can definitely get rid of the 255. So the 23, the 53 is also an inpatient consultation. Get rid of both of those consultations. So that only leaves you with your 221, which is your initial hospital care. So we will definitely just keep that one because we'll get rid of the 2 consultations when it says just an attending physician. Attending is no consult. We've got a nursing facility down here. Those can be tricky. We've got a 315, a 310, and a 309. Let's go check out and see if those are under the nursing facility. So the 309 will come up first, and we're under subsequent nursing care with 39, 310. What is 315? 315 is under discharge. So let's go up here and look at this one just a minute. And we got a nursing facility, physician, an established patient. She has an ulcer of the leg, history and physical. Her medical decision making was moderate, and the doctor revises the medical care plan. The only MDM that is moderate was the 09. The 10 is high complexity, and then the 15 is discharge, and our 218 wouldn't even be under nursing care at all. What is that going to be under? 218 is under observation care, and we are absolutely not in observation care because she is in a nursing facility. So we can get rid of the 218. The 15 was a discharge, so the only 2 you had was a high complexity or the moderate. So we definitely picked our moderate. B, correct. Correct. What have we got here? Oh, y'all can't even see them. Here we go. We have a bunch of 4s, 994s, 6, 7, and 8, and not reportable. So let's go to the first one in the sequence. 99446. What are we under? Four, 4, 6, 4, 7, and 4, 8 are under telephone, internet, electronic health record consults. That's big new stuff for this year, right? So what would happen if a provider performed an internet assessment for 10 minutes, visited what? 3 other patients for 5 minutes each, then came back and finished the session for another 20 minutes. The provider called and requested the physician and verbally reviewed the call. What? The provider called the requested physician, verbally reviewed the call. That is crazy. The provider performed an internet assessment for 10 minutes, visited 3 other patients. Well, the 4.6 says that you can do an interprofessional telephone internet electronic health record assessment for 5 to 10 minutes. Ooh. So he visited 3 other patients for 5 minutes each, then came back and finished the session for another 20. What in the world was he doing? Now, that's a very weird question, guys. Let's see, 39. What does AAPC want us to learn from this question? That I know, like, was this 20 minutes go on to that first patient? Or, and then he saw 3 more patients for 5? It does say you can spend 5 minutes per patient and charge that code if you spent 5 minutes with them and they showed you some rash on a camera and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll call you in some hydrocortisone. I guess you could do it in 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know. It would have to be very, very limited, but it does say you can do it for 5 to 10 minutes. But that's clearly a bunch of hogwash there, and I see that Connor has figured out that this is just not reportable services. Nothing in that scenario right here is not a service, like one service. I would look at the question like that. Because they went from one patient to another patient, one patient to 3 patients, and then back to an original patient, doesn't give you anywhere near enough information about what's going on. Verbally reviewed the call. What? I don't know what that is. Yep. But anyway, AAPC definitely wants you to answer D on this. So if you see something like this that doesn't give you a clear patient that was assessed, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and then that's what they want you to code, then great. Code that first code, the 4-6. But they're not going to give you a scenario where you have 2 sentences with 4 patients listed in that 2 sentences and want to give your opinion on what you would code. You can't code nothing with 4 patients listed in 2 sentences and no clear direction on who's who and what they're doing. So, I know, stupid question. Yeah, but this is from their scenarios, one of their questions. And I'm thinking that the hint comes with this word service. How could you code one service for a 10-minute session, then visited 3 other patients, then went back to another session? How do you code a service? There's not one service there. So they're tricky with their wording at the very end. Remember that one question where you think you're going to code this big long E&M thing, but the last word says, how do you code this procedure? It's one procedure code when all the other answers have 99221 with procedures and this, that, and the EKGs and all this other stuff. And then there's one little bitty answer that just has one CPT code in it. So, yeah. You gotta pay attention to that last word with AAPC for sure. You're gonna get slacky, and all the other ones for 100 questions are gonna lull you into a security thinking that you are rolling along fine, and they just want you to continue coding like normal questions, and then they're gonna throw in this tricky thing that has this one verbiage at the last word that will change the whole scenario of what you just read just based off that one word saying service. Service? There's like 15 services in this. What do you want me to do here? Very crazy. Indeed. AAPC can be a pain. But it's interesting when we find those questions and then we know what to look for next time. So we've got 396, 386, 403, and 450. Just a mess of crap. I don't even know where I could eliminate something. So I need to start with the first one in sequence. 99386 to see where I'm at. 99386. So we're at the new patient wellness exam. So take a gander up here, and are we doing a complete physical on a 60-year-old? Is he new or established? Does it even say? This is a 60-year-old presents for a complete physical. There are no new complaints. What do you mean no new complaints? Does that mean he's established? Does that mean I won't use any new patient codes? The guideline for E&M states that if it's not stated whether they're new patient or not, that you do not code them as a new patient. But this is weird. There are no new complaints since my previous examination on June 9th. So he's definitely established, right? So 99396 is for a new patient. 96 is over here under established, actually. 96 is 40 years old, so he is established. It's the 86 is for new patient, so we'd get rid of the new patient for sure. We could do this 96 because he is an established patient and he is here for a complete physical. When you see stuff about them asking about them smoking wine, or not smoking cigarettes or drinking wine, those are risk factors. And that's exactly what this particular section is for. Even at the age of 60, anytime they're doing any sort of risk assessment, any risk factors, this is where you want to be when you're coding. You don't want to be in the front of the book where it's 99201 or 202. I'm sorry. We don't have 01 anymore. Or 99213. You don't want to be in those sections. Anytime they're doing, do you drink? Do you smoke? They're looking for risk. What does he do for a job is even listed there. So you want to make sure his sleeping habits, anything like that you see, you want to be in this complete preventative medicine sections. So don't forget about those codes in the back here. They're in between nursing home and counseling factors and care of overnight services. They're right after the team medical conference too, so I hate that they're way back there. I wish they were somewhere else. Hey, Tracy. Where are we at? All right, we are at 8:30, so I've got to run and get off here because somebody is getting off work and will be home soon. So I'll make sure that we have dinner prepped or something for him so he can go to crash and go to bed and get up and do it again at 6 a.m. in the morning again. I will be home all day tomorrow. I have some tutoring to do, one session, but I know I have so many that are taking their exam tomorrow. I hope to hear from everybody how they're doing. If you need me, I'll be in chat tomorrow for sure. Again, if y'all want to go over anything or need copies of my notes, just email me. The link will be in bio. Just click on my little face there. And if you want to join our Messenger chat group, please come find me on Messenger. I think you can just join or download Messenger without having Facebook. Just come find me here. Message me here. Don't message me on some Coding by Jen Messenger thing, because it won't link to our chat group for some reason. I don't know how I set this up, but please come find me here, and I will add you to our little chat group. And I showed you how to go to and you can see all of the pictures and things that we've already shared, so you can catch up. But please make sure that if you're prepping for these exams, medical coding exams, that you're taking these codes like 99309 or this, what did we just do, 99396, and you are writing an example in the bottom of these books and pages of the CPT book of how it looks, how you would code a 99285. It would be a 25-year-old EMS to ER for nausea, vomiting, blood sugar, altered mental status. The MDM was at a higher level. That's how they coded it. Put little examples beside the codes, especially if you're taking an AAPC course. Every little question they give you, go to the code, write the correct answer scenario near the codes. That way you'll have it to reference during your exam. I just did 2 TikToks today about how helpful it would be to have this book filled up full of reference material for how to code. If you haven't taken an AAPC course and you need help with this, I'm here to help. I'll show you how to box. I'll show you how to highlight. I'll show you where to find these scenarios that you can add and get your books prepped for your exam. I can probably do another live tomorrow night if hubby's closing the store again, if his store manager, co-manager has not come back from being transferred to another store, because they are shorthanded all over the place. But I can probably do another live tonight. I won't do one on Sunday, but I will do one on Monday night for sure. So if y'all want another live tomorrow, let me know and I can prepare some questions. Just let me know what y'all want to go over and I'll set something up for tomorrow night too. Hey Ange, yeah, so I can do tomorrow night. Just message me. Tell me what you want to go on. Yes, this will be on YouTube, and I will put Wednesday's YouTube live that I did Wednesday night on YouTube too. I think it saved them. Go check that out real quick too. Let's go here. Go here. Don't forget, in my link in bio, I have a coupon if you want those notes, or if you want to email me, that's there too. But let's go see, what did I do? Live Center, did it record? Replays? Wednesday's live? Oh no, it's still generating. No, that's today's live. Oh gosh, technical error. Crapola, it didn't record Wednesday's live. I hate that. Dang it. Okay. I hope, yes, it didn't record the last 2 lives, the 8th and the 10th. Okay, fingers crossed, guys. It will be there. The last one it recorded was 11/6. That one's on YouTube already. This one, 2.5 hours, is gone forever. And so is Wednesday's. That sucks. I had a lot of info on there. I'm so sorry. It's still generating tonight's recording. If it does record, I will post it. I really need to find a different way to do these. I'm sorry. But if it records, I will go there and download it and put it on YouTube for sure. My YouTube library is full, and I am pretty repetitive. So I've got the 5th on there, I've got the 3rd, I've got the 1st, the 30th. All these are several hours long. There's a lot of them there, so please go enjoy listening to my madness and confusion. But yeah, I've got a lot of hours here too, so it's all super helpful, hopefully. And they're there. If they're recorded, they are there, I promise. So I will see y'all again tomorrow night. Just message me on a TikTok or send me an email and let me know what you would like to see, and I'll prep some questions. See y'all tomorrow night. I'm sorry, Coupon Cutie, about Wednesday. It didn't record it either. I'm so sorry. Maybe somebody else has recorded it. I've had that happen before, and they'll post it on their YouTube for me. But if anybody did record it Wednesday session, let me know, and I'll direct everybody to it. I'm so glad that my YouTube and Etsy are giving you life. I really want you to pass for sure. Please join the Messenger chat group. It really is helpful too, for sure. And my website, you can schedule tutoring there. And I also have screenshots of how my book looks and how to make yours there too. And that's free. So anyway, I see y'all tomorrow night for sure.